Excuse me, what do you want to do tonight?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Dollars Want Me, The New Road to Opulence by Henry Harrison Brown. This audio is brought to you by UR Creators, Inc. and is free to use and download. Preface to the first edition. To the reader. This essay upon the dollar appeared in Now as one of a series of 12 lessons entitled Success and How I Won It Through Affirmation. It attracted much attention and drew out from its readers many letters. This appreciation has decided Now Folk to reprint it in the form for a wider circulation. This will conserve the purpose for which it was written. I wish to awaken my fellows to a sense of their present possessions and help them to a realization of the principle which controls life's expressions, so that living being to them a fine art. They will cease to look for happiness in some far-off heaven, but will enter into the enjoyment of the one they create here and now. It is believed that this little monograph is the first utterance of the thought that each individual has the ability so to radiate his mental forces that he can cause the dollar to feel him, love him, seek him, and thus draw, at will, all things needed for his unfoldment from the universal supply. It will help you to rise above the drudgery of enforced labor and enable you to enter upon the manifold expressions of life and the joy and spontaneity of childhood. This is the thought which comes to you with this, My Lesson of Success. Henry Harrison Brown. Supply. He who dares assert the I may calmly wait, while hurrying fate meets his demands with sure supply. Helen Wilmans. Harmony. There is neither health nor prosperity without harmony. There is no peace, no health, where there is want, be it want of material supply, wisdom supply, or love supply. Love, truth, and dollars. These are necessary to human well-being. Mind, body, and estate must be cared for. In order that there may be health, happiness, and prosperity, there must be harmony. This harmony is found in merely giving self, the soul, its way. Harmony is living in obedience to mental law. It is found in right thinking. Bane of poverty. Poverty is the main cause of the unrest, the disease, the unease that afflicts mankind. Remove poverty by right thinking, and all attendant evils will disappear. This right thinking means that there shall be on the part of the individual a change of attitude toward the dollar. Mental attitude. The prevalent attitude is want for the dollar, belief that dollars are power. This must be outgrown, and the attitude must be that all power is in man. Dollars are machines with power delegated to them by man. They are useless without man. Dollars want me is to be the thought of the coming man. A few so think now and have obtained mastery of supply. Demand and supply. It is a legitimate demand on the part of each individual that he have enough. To supply human needs is the function of the universe. All is for man. The sun shines for him. The waters run for him. The flowers bloom for him. The grain ripens for him. And the earth teems with beauty for him. All would be useless, would be purposeless, but for him. When he ceases to be, there is no use for the universe or anything in it. Without man, these are virtually non-existent. Man alone gives a meaning, a use, a value, a purpose to the universe. There is enough in the universal one from which all things materialize, for each one to have enough to meet all desires without robbing any. Infinite supply is all about us, and yet there is want. Whose the fault? Not of the one. It is in ourselves. We have not known how to claim, nor have we claimed our own. law of supply. The law is simple, and it is laid down by the greatest political economist as well as the greatest mental scientist the world has in its historic records. He was not a theologian. Neither did he deal with questions of a future life, as many seem to think. He was a sociologist and a socialist. He dealt with questions of the life that now is. His name was Jesus. He gave the law thus: seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. Study the law. Analyze thus: kingdom of God? Where? Within you. God is spirit, he said. The kingdom of God is then in the soul. It is the ego, or soul of man. Know thyself as soul. Know thyself as spirit. This is the law. Live rightly is the meaning of his righteousness. Live in accord with your sense of right. Obey your own conscience. Then all things shall be yours. Things of whatever kind, of all kinds, are manifestations of the one substance. Things are, like yourself, manifestations of the one God. Dollars are things. Dollars are manifestations of the one God. The law is simple. Plain directions these. Live true to self. Live spiritually. Give the first place in your thought to the eternal, from which things come, and then all things will come to you at need. First? Yes, not things first, but that mental condition which controls things. Not dollars first, but that mental attitude which attracts dollars. I trust myself. That mental condition is faith in self as a manifestation of omnipotence, faith in self as a manifestation of the all-good, faith in the universe as justice, faith in the universal one as entirely good, faith in the life you are, to draw its necessary supply of things, demanded for its highest expression. Then let things come. This is all, but it is God. This is the strait gate. Few there be that enter in, but all may. Things are second. Few place things second. Dollars, position, influence, show. These, in common thought, come first. But these are results of power. First, become one with the power. Become the power. And these desired things will come. The ordinary process of business, the customary method of thinking, is to be reversed. Think from inward power. Think from being. Be the master. You will then be the master, and things will take their right place. Become one with God by recognizing him as king in your soul. Listen to him in the edicts of your soul. Say, as you thus become negative to the higher in you, now, God, do your work your way, and it will be done satisfactorily to me. No one can fail when he assumes this attitude of love and trust. It would be an impotent God, and therefore no God, that did not work when these conditions are made. Poverty. How cured? Poverty is a mental condition. It can be cured only by the affirmation of power to cure. I am part of the one, and in the one possess all. I possess all. Affirm this, and patiently wait for the manifestation. You have sown the thought seed now, like a rancher, waiting for the sprouting and the harvest. It can never fail you when, like him, you trust. Cure of poverty. Repeat this affirmation, no matter what the appearances, no matter if hungry, houseless, and alone. Affirm, God is my supply. My supply is infinite. Dollars want me. Trust implicitly in the inviolable law of cause and effect. You are cause. Supply is the effect that must follow your affirmation. As ye sow, so shall ye reap. In the past, you have sown poverty seeds and are now reaping the crop. You do not enjoy this harvest. So, amid these results of previous sowing, plenty seeds and plenty will come. Supply is yours when you sow supply seeds. Sow, no matter how seemingly black the conditions. The seeds have God in them and cannot fail. Affirmations for use. My supply is infinite, for God is my supply. Supply can never fail me. Make this your affirmation and hold it. Hold it. Supply is sure. The law of supply is as sure as gravity. In this affirmation, all is mine. Dollars want me. You have repolarized your aura. You have changed your vibrations, and you will draw as the magnet draws the needle, all you can use. Try it. Never let go of your trust that dollars, or that for which they stand, will come. Thy kingdom, O soul, has come, and thy will is done, for God and soul are one. All is mine. 'Tis but by asking. Ere I make my silent plea, life unlocks her richest treasures for my waiting eyes to see. Opulence. You conquer fate by thought. If you think the fatal thought of men and institutions, you need never pull the trigger. The consequences of thinking inevitably follow. Carlyle. The dollar's side. Personal ideals of necessity must differ, yet, since money represents objective power, its consideration must enter as a factor into every ideal of success. Money represents supply. It stands in our thought for food, clothing, and shelter, for books, pictures, and companionship, for enjoyment, unfoldment, and expression. Material supply is a necessity of life. The dollar is the concrete representative of this necessity. But the dollar also means opportunity for the realization of high ideals. The individual must be free, and until the necessities of life are assured, he is not free. Personal liberty. Thus the dollar stands for individual liberty. Personal liberty finds its basis in pecuniary independence. Financial independence and personal liberty bear very largely the relation of cause and effect. We can almost say that in the popular mind the dollar confers liberty. In soul culture, a mental attitude of superiority to the dollar results in personal liberty. There is no liberty to him who feels himself limited by the want of the dollar. Debt is one of the most tyrannical of masters. Mackay well says, "The debtor is ever a shame-faced dog, with his creditor's name on his collar." There can be no liberty to him who feels the slavery of debt. Ideals of success. Into your ideal of success, therefore, there must be firmly built this ideal of pecuniary independence. This independence does not lie in freedom from debt. Neither does it lie in large bank accounts, nor the possession of property. Monetary success and personal liberty do not go hand in hand. Indeed, the average man of wealth is the veriest slave, enslaved to the necessities that his monetary possessions involve, and a worse slave to his fears. What is success? Success lies in the mental attitude that arises from that sense of personal power which meets every condition without anxiety. That cannot be called success which results in ill health and unhappiness, unrest, or fear. Eliminate these from your ideal, and you have, as a necessary concomitant of success, financial ease. The new thought. In the old competitive thought, men sought business and wanted the dollar. Under the new thought, it is, seek first the kingdom of God and its right living, and all things necessary to my happiness will be added to me. The soul has only to exercise its drawing power,